Yeah, all good. Everybody's fit and healthy, so raring to go.
Okay. Obviously, the back three selection has caused a bit of excitement and anticipation. What kind of balance did I have to strike between getting their defensive work nailed on and, I guess, showing why they've been picked in an attacking sense?
Yeah, I think the point you make about defensive stuff is crucial for tomorrow. I think in the selection of Marin, especially at 12 for Italy, I think they're going to look at distributing the ball a little bit more, getting to the edges a little bit more, which is going to put a lot more onus on our wingers and 13s, making sure they get their detail and their decision making right on the edges. But yeah, Lowy's come on leaps and bounds in that area. Mac's still learning at international level and stuff, so the communication's been very good this week. It's exciting times really in terms of everything. As long as they do the right things at the right time, it'll be okay.
Sure, I'm just looking back to the France game. How did you feel it went overall from your perspective?
Yeah, obviously disappointed with the end result. We asked the players for a performance, and there's a few details that we missed or lacked in the intensity of the pressure and stuff, and it's making sure that we correct them this week. Breakdown's been a massive area for us, focusing on to generate the type of ball that we want to play off, that we can dictate to the defence what we do. But saying that, Italy are not going to give us an easy street, so it's making sure that we get our detail right in that area. So the likes of Mikey and Lowy and Mac can get into the game as well.
And Andy touched on yesterday how Joey would have plenty of things he picked up and learned last week and looking to implement tomorrow. Can you expand on that a bit? Like what do you ideally like to see more of from him?
Again, Joey's just he's slowly growing into himself again. He had a very good performance against France, obviously, and it's just the next step up for him now. He's got his feet under the table now, under the desk, and he needs to make sure that he drives to that next level. For us, it's about making the right decisions at the right time. It's always been the case for our 10s. And then bringing his X factor, which is, he's got a very good running game, which we haven't seen too often of over the past he's been injured a lot of the time, I suppose. But, he's very good at attacking the line. So again, areas like that, but only if it's the right thing to do, and making sure that he controls the area, so we're not playing too much rugby in key areas too.
Thanks, best of luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Ed Elliott at PA. A lot's been made about Italy's long losing streak in this competition, and obviously there was a statement from the tournament organisers last week about their participation. With all that going on, how do you ensure that Ireland's players don't underestimate the challenge that's in front of them this weekend?
I think that's driven internally with the players. Pete as captain tomorrow has really driven that. You're playing for your country. It's exactly what you want to do. Mikey's getting his first cap. Dan Sheehan's getting his first start. So these little milestones are massive for individuals, and it's and again, it's about inspiring the nation, making sure we get our nation behind us, and if we keep making sure we put in the performances that the nation can be proud of. We don't underestimate any of the opponents that are coming to Aviva. So we know it's a proper test match tomorrow. We know what Italy can bring, how disruptive they can be. Their kicking game's very good. So it's making sure that we put our processes in place and make sure that we go out and play the way we want to play.
And just as a follow-up to that, the results suggest that there's obviously a gap there between Italy and the other five nations. How do you view that? How far behind do you think they are?
Yeah, I mean, Italy are, again, a very, very young side. They have got some exciting players in there. The back row, Lamora, the captain, who's exceptionally passionate and a very good rugby player. Now they've got Carbisi, obviously, and Marin now at 12. So these guys are all young, and they're still trying to learn their trade, and it's very, very tough when, to learn your trade when you're getting beaten every weekend too, from a confidence point of view. But I think the way that Kieran Crowley wants the game to be played is definitely shining through. But it does, again, it takes time and experience for that to happen.
Thank you. Cheers.
Mike, Brendan Fanning, Sunday Indo. Can you tell me the journey that you're on regarding the attack shape that Ireland are using? How far along do you think you are, and are you happy with the rate of progress, especially in the last 12 months?
Yeah, I mean, you're happy when it goes well all the time, but there are key fundamentals in there that need to go right for us to attack the way we want to attack. And I think a lot of people have put a lot of emphasis on our attack, but a lot of the tries, a couple of tries we scored against Wales was down to our defence is the reason we scored those tries. So it's a combination of the two. Is try scoring defence is crucial for us too. Is making sure we go and get that ball back, and let's be brave in what we do and go and get the ball back. So our attacking stuff is all about decision making and work rate, and so far the boys have done pretty well with it. But there's still a lot of understanding to be had, especially in the heat of a battle, in the heat of the pressure of a test match, making sure that we're able to continually stay calm and make the right decisions on the back of the pictures we see. So it's we're getting there. We're slowly getting there, but we'll keep developing as we go.
Speaking of developing, most people accept that they nick stuff off other people. There's very little originality in the world. I'm not saying you don't have any original thought, but how do you marry the two? And are you always scavenging around looking for stuff, or what's your mindset on that?
You do what suits your team, really. I think as a coaching group, we're united in everything we do. There's no silos within the coaching group. We all understand how attack works, how defence works, how kicking game works. And we're all able to drive that. So, but like I say, there are key fundamentals for us to get right first. And we have been very good in November. We were very good in certain areas, and we dropped off a little bit against France. So we need to make sure we bring those areas back into our game for us to generate what we're good at.
Sound. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, Stuart McCoy here, Virgin Media. How are you?
Good, thanks, Stu. How are you?
Very well indeed. Like a quick word on Mikey Lowry. Andy said how impressed he was since he's come in. As an attack coach, what's impressed you most about him, and why is he getting his chance tomorrow?
I think a nice thing about these young guys that are coming in is they have no baggage with them. They play with no fear. They go out and they love. Mikey loves doing what he does, and it's really infectious, and it drives people around him to have that same feeling. I think it's crucial that players can come in like Mikey and play the way he wants to play. And Andy's created this environment. The players have created this environment for these players to be able to come in and do that. And that's what we want from Mikey. We don't want anything different from Mikey. The nice thing about Mikey is because he's exceptionally quick and he's got quick feet and everything, sometimes he could probably get a little bit frantic and in his mind and stuff, whereas he's calmed down massively, and in terms of he's a very good distributor of the ball, and he fits into us the way we flow in the game, and he's been seamless in that transition for him. So all credit to him, and like we say, he's a great guy and he's fitted in perfectly. So it's up to the rest of the boys to make sure that his job is mega easy tomorrow.
Yeah, you say he's a very good distributor. He obviously played 10 school, then moved into fullback. How is an attack coach, and he can create something out of nothing, as an attack coach, how do you let him go and do what he does best, or else fit into the system? How do you balance that?
Well, it's only down to the decisions he makes. If the right thing is for him to pass the ball every single time he sees a picture, then that's the right thing for the team. That's the best thing for the team. If it's on for him to have a go, if Italy are going to kick long and he sees that it's disjointed defence, he's going to have a go himself because it's the right thing to do. And I think that's where we've still got a massive way to go in terms of our decision making sure that every decision is the right decision and we make it the right decision at the end of the day. But yeah, there's no shackles on Mikey tomorrow. He can go and do what he wants to do.
Great stuff. Let's hope he goes well. Thank
So
you.
do I.
Mike, hi, it's Michael Corcoran here. I'm just wondering where you see the main threat from Italy tomorrow.
I think they defensively they've definitely tightened up a lot better. Their work rating defensively has been a lot better. That French game that they played, well, the game they played against France, they caused chaos at the breakdown, and they stopped their big ball carriers getting around the corner. So from that point of view, they've definitely tightened up. Their kicking game, like I've mentioned, with Marin and Garbisi and Padovani now at 15, these guys can kick the ball and kick the ball very well. So they've got a very good attacking game with the little kicks over the top of rucks. So they keep you guessing as a defensive team. So you can't switch off against them. And these games, those balls are going to bounce their way sometimes. And we've got to be mindful of it and make sure we adapt accordingly.
And how important is it to be patient tomorrow, that you sort of build your way into the game, if you understand, rather than get suckered into a kind of barbarian style match in the opening 15-20 minutes?
Well, it's only what the picture they see. It's only what we get given, and it is going to be a battle from the start. But it's making sure that we enforce what we want to put in place. It's crucial we get our breakdown right. It's crucial we get our line speed defense right. We have to pressurize them, get the ball back. These are all things that need to be in place from minute one. There's no relenting in anything tomorrow. It's a proper test match. We need to go after them.